Today we're going to be breaking down my picks for the top 10 best Star Wars Funko Pops of 2023. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So 2023 was a very interesting year for Star Wars, and before I go any further in this video, we will be touching on several spoilers for several of the major Star Wars projects that were released over the last 2 years. And in 2023 we got several big projects, including The Mandalorian Season 3, Bad Batch Season 2, and Ahsoka Season 1, where we not only saw the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn, we also saw Ezra return to the known universe. And of course, with all these Star Wars projects, that just means that Funko has a lot of opportunity to make figures off of these big pop culture appearances. Now, moving into 2024, we have some more Star Wars projects to look forward to, although I would guesstimate and assume that a lot of people are not as excited for the 2024 projects compared to the 2023 projects, which I just mentioned. We are getting Skeleton Crew very soon with Jude Law, as well as The Acolyte, and we're even getting Tales of the Jedi Season 2. That, of course, is the very good animated series. If you guys haven't watched that yet, I highly encourage you guys to do so. And last but not least, we are getting the final and third season of The Bad Batch, which I'm very excited for, and also very sad to see that disappear from our screens. Now, we are supposed to be getting Andor Season 2. That is going to be pushed to 2025, as well as The Mandalorian Season 4, and likely Ahsoka Season 2. Now, with all these projects roaming around our screens, what did Funko do in 2023? Well, they actually did a pretty good job. So let's break down my list for the top 10 figures that they came out with. And starting off with number 10, we actually have a really unique one that I'm so excited that Funko released. This was an Entertainment Earth exclusive, and this is none other than Obi-Wan Kenobi in his Mandalorian armor. He actually wore Mandalorian armor very briefly in the Clone Wars Season 5 when he was going to rescue his love interest, Satine Kryze. Now, this one is just a really cool pop and something that I hope Funko does more of in the near future, where they do these, popular characters in different uniforms or in different armors that they wear very briefly. I think it looks awesome, especially with all the hype surrounding the Mandalorian scene these days. I think this one is an amazing figure. Moving on to number 9, I have to talk about something Funko did in 2023 that I desperately hope they continue to do in 2024, and that, of course, is release more Star Wars Funko Pop rides. They did so well with this in 2023, and coming in at number 9 is a ride that I have to recognize for today's list, and that is none other than the Mandalorian Din Djarin with Grogu in his N1 Starfighter. I think this pop just looks phenomenal. You do get Grogu in the back, of course, and he is to scale with the Mandalorian, which is something they don't do very often with a lot of Star Wars pops. Now, even though we got the N1 Starfighter, I really hope at some point we do get the Mandalorian in his Razor Crest, even though that would be a much bigger pop ride and likely take up a lot more room on your shelf. It was a staple starship in Seasons 1 and Season 2 of The Mandalorian, so I would like to see that one down the road, as well as Hera and the Ghost. I think that would just be an absolute banger of a bestseller for Funko, and I really hope they make that. But nonetheless, the N1 Starfighter here is phenomenal. It's fantastic. The detail is just unreal, and you have to get one for your Star Wars Funko displays. Coming in at number 8 is a droid Funko Pop, and we absolutely love our droids here at Slapshotpops. And this was actually a droid from 2022, although they didn't make him into a Funko Pop until this past year, 2023, as he was a staple character in the Obi-Wan Kenobi live action series on Disney+, and here we have Ned B. And one of the reasons why I absolutely love this Funko Pop is a couple things. This character showed up very briefly in Star Wars, and unfortunately he's not going to be showing up ever again because he did meet his maker in the single season of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. On top of that, this character was so cool in the fact that he could not speak. He could only express himself through his actions, and one of the things that he usually had in his hands was that big giant hammer, which is featured on this Funko Pop. So Funko just did an amazing job. I'm so thankful that they made this side character who only appeared in that one season, and he was only in a handful of episodes. However, when he was on screen, his presence was felt, and I'm so excited to have him in collectible format. Up next, taking down the number 7 spot is a Funko Pop that just has tremendous display features, and that of course is the Gaming Greats Jet Trooper. I love it anytime when Funko makes a trooper with a jetpack, because they typically do it like this, where you actually have a base that's made from the exhaust coming out of the flames from the jetpack. And this one is just so freaking cool. I cannot wait to get to our new house, because I'm going to be displaying all of the jet troopers and all the troopers with jetpacks out of box, because they absolutely deserve to be done so. And this is not an expensive pop. This is something that you can pick up at GameStop for relatively cheap. It's not going to break the bank. However, I just think it's a sleeper pop and something that a lot of Star Wars collectors should get, because I think it's a very enjoyable figure. Now, continuing with the trooper trend, coming in at number 6 is another trooper, although this one was one that we wanted desperately for years, and Funko finally gave it to us here in 2023, and that of course is the BAM exclusive 332nd Ahsoka's Clone Trooper. I absolutely love these troopers. If you guys don't know about the 332nd, they were a portion of the 501st that broke off during the Clone Wars to serve specifically under Captain Rex and Ahsoka, and we finally have not one, but actually 2 versions of the 332nd in Funko Pop form. I actually think this one is just a little bit better than the Target exclusive one that they came out with. This one, I just feel like they got the markings on his face just a little bit better, and I absolutely love that he's in a little bit of an action pose as he is running there on his base. So really, really great job. Thank you, Funko, so much, and I think hopefully this opens the door for possibly more other clone troopers from other clone legions that we have yet to get in Funko Pop form. So hopefully in 2024 we will see more clone troopers. So now we're going to be moving into my top 5 Star Wars pops of the year. And as we're going through this list, guys, let me know if you agree or disagree with my picks down in the comments section below. I will say it was pretty tough to rank these upcoming 5 pops, but I think I did a pretty good job, and hopefully you guys agree with me. So coming in at number 5 is one of a few 2-packs we have to talk about. Not only did Funko knock it out of the park with the Star Wars rides this past year, they also have been killing it with the GameStop exclusive 2-packs. And coming in at number 5 is the GameStop exclusive Anakin Skywalker vs. Count Dooku 2-pack. Now, I don't have this one on hand yet, although hopefully it will be shipping out very soon. I think this one got delayed as well as a few other ones, but I have seen a few people get this one in hand. And this one is just phenomenal because we do not have that many Count Dooku Funko Pops in general. And then overall, we just don't have a lot of Anakin Pops. We do have a lot of Darth Vader, of course, but seeing these two in a single 2-pack dueling, especially after what happened in Episode 3, if you guys have seen Revenge of the Sith, of course, then you will know that Count Dooku met his demise at the hand of Anakin Skywalker as he was being heavily influenced by the Emperor as he was making his turn to the dark side. Do it! So kudos to Funko for making this a 2-pack. I absolutely love it. I think Count Dooku looks great. I think Anakin looks great. And the best thing about both of these is you can actually take them out and put them on your shelf in a nice little battle stance pose, and it makes for a fantastic display. So coming in at number 4, man, this Funko Pop right here just hits the nail on the head with everything that we've been discussing so far in this video. It is another GameStop exclusive 2-pack, although this time it has Darth Maul going up against Pre Vizsla. Now, once again, you have a character like Ned B, like the 332nd Trooper, and like some other pops that we're going to be talking about coming into the final 3, that it's making its Funko Pop debut for the very first time, and that is Pre Vizsla. And not only is Pre Vizsla coming into Funko Pop form for the very first time, he is wielding the Darksaber, and on top of that, he is in jetpack mode, flying up against Darth Maul. And even though they've made a lot of Darth Maul Funko Pops, I actually really like this one because it features him with his robotic legs and a nice action stance going up against Pre Vizsla, which we of course did see in the Clone Wars animated show. So this one just hits so many points for me, and I'm so excited to get this one in hand. And just like the Anakin vs. Count Dooku 2-pack, this one, once again, is going to make a great battle display scene in your Star Wars Funko Pop collections, and I'm so excited to see everyone's creativity moving into 2024 with their displays, as I would likely assume a lot of people are going to be taking these characters out of box. So coming in at number 3 is a Star Wars pop that might have slipped under the radar for a lot of collectors out there, and it's one that I am only lucky enough to currently have in my collection thanks to a fantastic member of the Slapshotpops family. So once again, thank you so much for helping me secure this very special pop for my collection, because this one has really nothing to do with Star Wars lore. It's just a great example of the creativity that Funko really can do when it comes to their figures. And on top of that, it was exclusive to a baseball game. So you had to go to the game in order to get this Funko Pop, or you had to buy it off of somebody who went to the game. So this was not a regular standard mass released Funko Pop. And this, of course, is the San Francisco Giants version of The Mandalorian. And like I said, this really has nothing to do with the lore of The Mandalorian or Star Wars, because instead of holding his pulsar rifle, he's actually holding a baseball bat, which I think is so freaking cool. And then on top of that, they outdid him with the colors of the San Francisco Giants, and the box just looks phenomenal as well. All around, this pop is just so freaking cool, and I'm so grateful to have this one in my collection. And I really hope Funko does more very hard to get exclusives that are related to Star Wars like this in 2024, whether it be a baseball game, whether it be a weird giveaway event of some sorts. I really think that this just highlights how special a Funko Pop can be and how cool of a story it can have for every individual trying to get it for their collection. So coming down to the final 2 pops, I'm not gonna lie guys, I spent a few days going back and forth as to what I should, give the final ranking for these last 2 pops to be, but ultimately I feel like I made the right decision, and coming in at number 2 is without a doubt the best San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that we got this year, and probably the best one that we've gotten as of recent for con exclusives when coming to Star Wars pops, and that of course is this absolutely gorgeous young Leia holding her signature little Lola droid. I think Funko just hit it out of the park with this Funko Pop. The only downside to young Leia here is, in my opinion, she came onto the Funko scene about a year late. We did get the Obi-Wan Kenobi live action series in 2022, and then this pop came out in 2023. Now, I don't necessarily fault Funko because they probably get limited information as to who is going to be in each Disney Plus Star Wars project, and then they have to produce pops months in advance. They have to create the molds, decide, what pop is going to be exclusive to which location. So I don't necessarily fault Funko, but I do want to commend them for making this a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, because this is the caliber of what a Star Wars San Diego Comic-Con exclusive should be. Now, we've gotten dozens of Princess Leia pops before, but this is the only young Leia pop that we've ever gotten. And the fact that she's holding her droid, which was a, key character in the Obi-Wan Kenobi live action series, they just knocked it out of the park, and I really think every Star Wars collector is gonna want to have this one for their collection at some point. So really great job, Funko. Only downside is that it came a little bit too late. Realistically, I would have loved to have seen it be a New York Comic-Con exclusive for 2022. However, I'm happy to have it here in Funko format as a con exclusive no matter what the year. And coming in at number 1 for my pick of the best Star Wars Funko Pop of 2023, most of you guys have probably guessed it, but I am going with the Captain Rex and Pong Krell GameStop exclusive 2-pack. And even though, once again, I unfortunately do not have this 2-pack in hand yet, I absolutely cannot wait to do so. I've seen some pictures leak online of Captain Rex and Pong Krell out of box in person, and man, I just cannot wait to get this. I have a couple reasons as to why this one is my number 1 Star Wars Funko Pop of the year. Just like some of the characters that we talked about earlier, this is the first time that we are getting Pong Krell as a Star Wars Funko Pop, and based on his backstory and everything that happened in the Clone Wars, I don't anticipate us getting another version of him as a Funko Pop ever. So I think that the fact that Funko is giving one to us at all is just very exciting. And then on top of that, let's talk about Captain Rex. Now, Captain Rex is a beloved character, arguably the most famous clone trooper in all of Star Wars history, and he's overall a fan favorite that a lot of Star Wars Funko collectors have been dying to get in their Star Wars collections for a long time. However, your options are very limited because they came out with the classic Captain Rex as a 2018 New York Comic Con exclusive. The shared sticker version of that pop is going for $400, while the con sticker version of that pop is currently trending at $800. Both of those prices are pretty absurd for a Funko Pop, and probably a hefty price tag that most people are not willing to pay unless you're a diehard Star Wars fan. Now, moving into this version of Captain Rex, it is a little bit different, which is good because I know there are some people who are worried that their original Captain Rex is going to go down in value. However, I don't think it is, because Funko actually put a different, unique character in this 2-pack with Captain Rex. It's going to encourage all collectors to go out and grab this one for their collection, whether you have the previous Captain Rex or you don't, because it's a win-win for both categories of collectors. There is, of course, that other old man Captain Rex that was a Smuggler's Bounty exclusive from the Rebels line, although that one isn't too terribly expensive, and I don't think it's that sought after at the end of the day because it doesn't have the classic version of Captain Rex in his standard white and blue clone trooper armor. So I think Funko just nailed it with this 2-pack. I really am so excited to get this one in my collection, and that's why at the end of the day I had to go with this one as my #1 pick for 2023. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. I have a couple quick closing thoughts as to Funko's overall job handling Star Wars Pops in the year of 2023. I think they did a great job with the rides. I think they did an okay job with the con exclusives. We got the Leia for San Diego Comic-Con, which was great, but then we got Darth Maul again for New York Comic-Con. I really don't think that one was needed. Like I said, we've gotten a lot of Darth Maul, so I wasn't too excited for that one. And then on top of that, they unfortunately really dropped the ball when it came to Star Wars Celebration. We got that droid 2-pack with R2 and R5, and then we also had that, oh man, what is his name? The Jar Jar pop. We do not need another Jar Jar Binks pop. So the fact that those 2 pops were chosen to be the Star Wars Celebration exclusives for 2023 was really a huge bummer in my opinion, and now we're not going to be seeing Star Wars Celebration again until 2025, so we're probably not going to be getting any Star Wars Celebration exclusives for 2024 unless Funko is able to go off and do their own thing. But overall, I think they did a really good job, and I'm very hopeful and very excited to see what is going to be coming out for 2024. So guys, today is Monday, so of course it is time for our weekly Monday Motivation segment. Every single week we'd like to bring you guys a small piece of Monday Motivation to help kickstart your week and get you through the toughest day of the week, which is, of course, Monday. And for today's Monday Motivation, I gotta talk about it because it's something that Joanna and I have faced firsthand over the last few days, and I know there's a lot of other people out there who are experiencing this. So for today's Monday Motivation, go out and wash your hands. Make sure to get some hand sanitizer, get some tissues, because there is some viruses going around, there's some colds and flus going around. I myself am a little bit congested. As you guys can probably tell, my voice probably sounds a little bit different than it normally does. That's just because over the last few days we've just been battling a little bit of a cold, unfortunately. So go out there, wash your hands. I don't want to see anybody else unnecessarily get sick. We all want to be in the pinnacle of health. Of course, moving into a brand new year when health is usually at the top of everyone's New Year's resolutions and their wish lists for what they want to change here in the new year. And oh, by the way, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. So guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. We will be live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern over on Whatnot. We're doing a huge New Year's Day giveaway stream. We're going to give a ton of stuff away. We have some soda games that we're going to be doing. We have a 50% chance at Chase game. We have some sodas in the Buy It Now and stuff. So if you want to come over and hang out with us tonight and possibly win something cool for your collection, make sure to join us 7 p.m. Eastern over on the Whatnot app. If you haven't signed up before, we actually have a $15 credit linked in the description below that will get you $15 off your very first purchase. So guys, thank you so much for all the support in 2023. I am so excited for everything that's going to be happening here in 2024, and I hope you guys join us here on our journeys through collecting and through life. So with that being said, don't stop shooting until you score, and we'll see you tonight.